you ready? I said, are you ready for Let's Talk Whoa Hockey? And now, here are our hosts, Beth and Zach.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 40 of Let's Talk Whoa Hockey. This is our Thursday Hockey Talk episode. I'm your girl, Beth, joined as always by my dude, Zach. And as always, we are presented by 5 in a Game Sports Network. How you doing today, buddy?
Doing good. I've been up since 6 this morning, so it's been on my day off, which has already been an interesting day. So,
yeah,
I already had a cup of coffee in my, Darth Vader mug, but I might need some. I might need some more though. I had a frosty chino from Wendy's, and I had a cup. So I'm already 2 coffees deep, but I might need another one
So you are currently very well caffeinated.
Kind of. I mean, at this point, it's just it's a maintaining thing. It's not more of like a spike thing. Like give me the energy. It's just like I'm maintaining.
Gotcha.
Being awake at this point.
Gary is just all about the podcast today.
We're here for it. Well, how are you doing?
I am absolutely wonderful. Today is technically my Friday. I am off tomorrow and Monday because I'm traveling to North Carolina for a wedding. And I'm excited, and we're going to talk Blackhawks, a very confusing Blackhawks team at that. Just a
little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting day, but today has already been a great day. It has been absolutely wonderful. There's very few things that could take me off of like the high of the things that have already happened today. So,
we got some pretty good news that's going to drop on Tuesday, so make sure to keep on the lookout for the Twitters.
Yes.
Got some really great news Tuesday, and I do have a couple updates from a certain captain of a hockey team that's actually squared a couple things up for us that we were kind of confused on our last show for the Woe show. But I'll save that for Monday's episode. But yeah, so we do have a couple corrections we got to fix because we're still kind of new to the ACHA thing because I'm used to the NCAA way of things. ACHA is a little different, so
ACHA is like its whole beast of situations. But make sure you are following us on Twitter and Instagram so you can check out the updates that are going to come. And sometimes we tweet games, sometimes we tweet news. We try to share things where we can. So make sure you're following us at Talk Whoa Hockey Pod on Twitter and Instagram. And you should be watching us on YouTube. If you're not watching us right now, like you're missing the really cool vibe in my office area right now. And so make sure you are on YouTube at Let's Talk Whoa Hockey. Make sure you're subscribed, like and comment on those videos. Let us know what you think. We love hearing from you guys. I've got a couple comments to catch up on from Chris Grady. He's been playing the catch-up game himself, so he dropped a few comments last night and this morning. So I've got to go dig into those because he's always great interacting. He's also a super great dude. We have new stickers with our new logo.
I got them right here.
Go for it because mine are kind of buried a little bit under stuff.
Well, sorry. Let me grab
those ones. You have to take out of the plastic bag because Chris ordered these stickers, knocked it out of the park. They are holographic, guys.
Well, I'll show that last because we got the regulars. So we got the regular nice.
We got the standard stickers.
But these things,
they are gorgeous. Like, look at those.
Look at that shine.
It's so shiny. I like shiny things. And we have some special other things that we're going to kind of keep to ourselves because I think we finally need to get that giveaway going. And so we have a special thing. We have a very limited number of them. So I think that will be included in the giveaway, and we'll maybe figure out some special places where those need to go and reside. But we got the sweet stickers. Chris, you are an absolute rock star. Thank you for all of your support on the pod and watching on YouTube and just showing us the love and getting us some stickers that are just so pretty.
I know there's a couple of guests. I know there's guests that need to get them. I know some hockey teams that might need to get some stickers as well. So we got to show love to all of our
some of our some of our WoHo friends do already have a collection of the old stickers. I did send enough for rosters to all have a sticker, and those did arrive, and they absolutely love them. So we'll try and see if maybe we can get a goodie bag out here and there for people when we can, because the numbers for them are limited.
We
do not have a lot. It is a very limited number, so we will send out what we can. But let's go ahead and hop in to some Blackhawks talk, because I'm gonna say right now, apparently I have stolen some of the chaos from our demigoddess of chaos, because once again, I say the Hawks are going to lose. And what do? They go and win. Like, your Chicago Blackhawks beat the defending Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche at home.
Yeah, now they're 12-26-4 by the board. And for the fact that, like, we're going to hit 15 wins. Like, we thought they may or may not do it. Yeah. They might actually do it now. And the fact is, they also play tonight as we're recording, because we're going to drop this the same day as tonight's game. I think they're playing in Philadelphia,
and we tend to do well in Philadelphia.
Well, we haven't really won in Philadelphia in the regular season since.
Well, that wasn't regular season.
We haven't won in the regular season yet.
You know what?
A long time, but yeah, we have won there. We have won there.
It was a good dub. It was an overtime. Things happen. Streaks were broken.
Thank you, thank you, Kaner. The man himself.
Yeah. I'm wearing a blank today. I'm rocking the Stadium Series shiny chrome Blackhawks jersey.
That one is really nice. Of course, we have to do it to the greatest American hockey player of all time, because it's going to happen.
It is.
I wrote an article about it. I'm just saying this now. Patrick Kane will be the greatest American-born hockey player of all time.
It's true. Yeah. And the Avs game, we saw goals from not the core members of the Blackhawks. We had a goal from Sam Lafferty. We had a goal from the battery man himself, Double A. Happy to see you, Anthony, to see you.
When you get a Double A goal and a Laffy Taffy goal, you'd love to see it.
And then to top it off, the game-winning goal was from Taylor Radish. So
the only radish I can accept eating is Taylor Radish, because it's just,
you're gonna eat.
No, you know what? Like the fruit. Never mind. It sounded a lot better in my head. Just don't mind. You know what I mean.
Rewind, erase that from your memories. Zach has no idea what he's talking about. But
like I said, I've been up since 6. Sue me.
Then my demigoddess chaos definitely wore off on the saying the Hawks are going to lose front. The Blackhawks played the Kraken. The final score of that game was 8-5. In the first 7 minutes of the first period, goaltending was very optional for the Blackhawks. Peter Mrazek allowed 4 goals before being pulled. He made 1 save on 5 shots. And then Alex Stalock comes in for relief. He did his first 2 shots. They were goals by the Kraken. But the first 7 minutes of that game saw 7 goals being scored. The Kraken had 6 goals on 7 shots.
Yeah, the save percentage was abysmal.
It was painful. And though that game was a loss, there were some good things that came out of that game. Isaac Phillips scored his first NHL goal. It was absolutely beautiful. I know that he's starting to kind of develop his NHL game a little bit better. Seems like his D pairing is working out a little bit better than it has in games past. So that has been beautiful to see. We had a Max Domi goal. The game was capped off with Kaner scoring a goal with 15 seconds left in the game.
Hey, you'll take Kaner goals any way you can take it, but I know for sure that the demigoddess was happy with Isaac Phillips.
Oh, for sure. And this goal did see some I like to call it sometimes old guy scoring. Jonathan Toews scored the first Blackhawks goal. Then we had a goal from Patrick Kane to close out the Blackhawks scoring. So we were bookended by number 19, Jonathan Toews, and number 88, Patrick Kane. Though a loss came, it's always good to see them score.
When you got 2 guys whose numbers are going to be in the rafters before, it's easy to say that now because we know it's going to happen. 3 cups, bunch of records. It just makes sense. And like you said, it's good to see that, 1988 doing what they usually do best and scoring goals. So, it's weird though. It's weird that both those guys aren't going to be in an All-Star game. Like
it is. Well, Taves has never really been like the All-Star game guy. Like
you would think Kaner would be though, but I mean,
you would think, but honestly, it's one of those things where if they were selected, they probably wouldn't. They would be the guys who got like a 1-game sussy because they didn't want to go. And I can't necessarily blame them. Like, take your All-Star break, enjoy your time in Chicago, because we don't know how much longer they will be in the city of Chicago. So
Patrick can't stay in Chicago for the rest of his career. He's not getting traded.
I truly I know that the market, whatever, blah, 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 blah. The market is pretty dry in the NHL right now. Like the teams that would want a Kaner don't have the Kaner things that we need in return.
No,
and
it's just, teams who could give us something don't have the space, and the teams that have the space aren't in contention to do something about it. So it's like,
no,
you would need like someone like the Hawks retaining half, and then another team retaining half.
Yeah,
to get Kaner at like third.
There
of his
would
price.
need to be like a 3 or 4 team trade at this point, and that's kind of been the speculation in the hockey writer world as well. Like the Kane trade will probably involve more than 2 teams, and it will be
Arizona will be a part of that in some way.
And I mean, at this point, like we might be in cap hell next season, so we might be trading with Tampa Bay to get Brent Seabrook's dead contract back. Like, who knows what's going to happen?
Well, because we're in the reverse cap problem where it's like, do we have enough money to hit the floor? Not so much can we stay away from the ceiling?
We have the Arizona Coyotes cap problem coming up in the future, so
Maroons.
And then the Buffalo game was one of those. I know I said like, if we face a hot Buffalo, it's going to be a loss. If we face a cold Buffalo, it's going to be a win. We faced a very mediocre Buffalo. Like they found that middle ground that they seem to have been missing because they're either really hot or really cold. And the Hawks ended up winning in OT after a game-tying goal by, wait for it, Seth Jones.
I mean, the blind squirrel finds that every once in a while. So, I mean, at some point he was going to get a goal.
But see, then he also scored the game-winning goal.
Okay, a broken clock is right twice. I mean, I can keep going if you want me to. I mean, I'm trying here.
The scoring in this game, again, another reason why the Blackhawks are such a confusing team. The first Blackhawks goal was scored by Connor Murphy.
So defense, and more defense.
The second goal was scored by the other PK, Philip Kurashev, which he's had. That was his 8th or his 6th goal of the season. So he's been on the scoreboard a couple times, but it's usually, I can't even say it's usually the other PK scoring because he only has like 8 goals on the season.
Well, the other PK's got a lot of assists though too. So I mean, it's Kaner doing Kaner things.
Yeah, and then 2 goals by Seth Jones, which is like when we get defensive scoring, it's usually not from him.
Oh, I think he's trying to hit his 5-goal quota pretty early on the season, so that way so
that Caleb will leave him alone about scoring more goals than him. Like,
yeah, but we all know Caleb's going to catch and pass him anyway. So I mean, it's just delaying the inevitable.
It's true, and
we try not to be negative towards the Blackhawks players, but it's just it's the contract. It's really the contract that kind of like.
Well, and I've said that since day one. It is the contract. The contract is the problem that I have with Seth Jones. If he was making less money and playing his game, then I would be fine with it. Like, he's not an atrocious defender sometimes. But when he's on the ice, I worry. And I don't like worrying while a defenseman is on the ice. Like, I shouldn't have to.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, because the fact that the Hawks gave him top 15 defenseman money, problem is he's not even a top 25 defenseman in the league. No. Like, that's the thing that if he was making $6 million a season, I could kind of work with it. Mm-hmm. 9.5 per with a no full trade clause for the next 8 seasons. That's what
he got. The final Stan Bowman special is what it boils down to. Like,
he basically did, and the fact of all the assets we gave up to get him too. That's the thing that it's the trade, then it's the contract, And then it's the fact that you look at it and you're like, this guy, like, we're giving this guy all this money, and it's kind of like we could have gotten him for so much less.
Yeah.
Like, if they wanted him that bad, they could have given him a contract that wasn't so excruciatingly eyesore. Like, because you look at his contract and you look at the rest of the like, you take out Kays and Tane, and you look at just Seth Jones and the rest of the roster, that is a massive, like, eyesore, misnomer, however you want to phrase this. Like, one doesn't belong with the others. Like, this is not, like, it's just a bad situation to look at where the rest of the roster, like, you can combine a bunch of bunch of salaries together, 2 matches, and that's not a good thing. Like, if we're in the middle of a rebuild, we shouldn't have a rebuild with one guy after this year being stuck at 9.5.
One benefit to his contract is it does give us a little bit of cap help, but we're still going to be approximately 20 million under the salary cap floor as we stand right now.
Yeah,
so,
that doesn't really do anything for us. Then it's like trying to ignore the bruise on the underside of the arm, even though it is there. We try to act like it's not there. Even though it's kind of like, here's the thing.
Yeah,
so nothing wrong with him. It's just the contract compared to everything else. It's just like
it's the money and the term, because it's 8 years. But you don't give a defenseman like that eight. Like, there's not a lot of guys who get 8-year contracts. He's no Duncan Keith.
He's no Kel McCarr. He's no insert guy who actually earns
Adam Fox.
Yeah, he's not a guy who earns an 8-year contract. He's not like, an Andrei Svechnikov or a guys who actually deserve a contract that size. Like, you don't give it to a defensive, like you said, unless it's like Duncan Keith and stuff like that.
Like a Jacob Slavin. Like,
well,
I mean, we do have Josiah Slavin in the system, so I'm excited to see what he develops into. If
you're hoping
a carbon copy of his brother,
just on the forward side of things. So you basically you want the Slavo mojo with Josiah. So, I mean, hey, you never know. I mean, we got there's the Sedins, we got the Sutters. You
never know, but also we have the Jones brothers, so there's that. But I want to take a look at what we have upcoming, because next week we do actually have 4 games for the Blackhawks before we record our next Hockey Talk. So they are playing 2 nights.
That's insane. Yeah. 4 games.
4 games, and 3 of them are away, because the Hawks have been home the entire month of January, and they've got 1 more home game this month and 5 road games. So tonight we are playing the Flyers in Philly. It is a 7 p.m. Central puck drop. The story for this game for me is going to be goaltending, because I know we called up a goalie from Rockford because Alex Stalock is in concussion protocol.
The last time he was in concussion protocol, we lost him for about a month and a half. So,
it looks like Peter Mrazek is probably getting the start tonight. So let's hope goaltending is not optional this evening.
Mr. Mrazek, please. Just
like, Mr. Peter Mrazek, I'm going to need you to remember how to stop pucks. Not just how to goalie, how to stop pucks. Because the last game he started, he was pulled after stopping 1 shot. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's very much like a wait and see situation. I'm hoping that it goes well. I'm cautiously optimistic, but at the same point in time, again, this is not a season in which we were expecting like all of the greatness in the world. So
I mean, it's one of those things where we were like, we just want like good.
I want to watch like decent hockey, but and I did misspeak. Peter Mrazek did start the Buffalo game as well because of Alex Stalock's injury.
Right.
So
it's one of those,
he did bounce back from the Kraken nightmare.
It's just one of those things like we're like at the beginning part of the season, we're like, you know what, they're losing games, but it's not like soul crushing bad games.
It was fun to watch at the
Now
beginning of the season.
Now is just kind of like,
Yeah.
it's almost like last season where you're just like, why? Like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah. Last season was just like a lot of pain. But we do have the Flyers tonight. It's bad versus bad at this point. Like the Flyers aren't great. The Hawks aren't great. If like the game could end in like a never ending shootout, that wouldn't surprise me. I know
It'd be nice to beat Philadelphia in Philadelphia since the
for
first
a
time.
change.
Yeah, was it 1996 was the last time they did it in a regular season, not playoffs, not playoff in the regular season. It's been too long. It's been 84 years.
The Hawks have been breaking some streaks this season, so I could see that streak maybe coming to an end. Like maybe this is the season where we just like get all the bad stuff off. Like the defenseman power play goal streak has ended. Yeah. And, you know, we've got this streak versus Philadelphia. Maybe this is the one where.
So what you're saying, there is a chance.
I'm saying there's like a minute possibility of a chance because John Tortorella like took away the Flyers' iPads. They seem like kids who are mad because their parents took away their toys. So,
I mean,
who knows? Who even knows?
He doesn't care if his guys go to the All-Star game because he thinks the All-Star game is an absolute joke. But I mean, that's,
you know, he has some takes.
Just a bit. So, I mean,
a couple.
It'll be interesting. But yeah, for the Hawks, it's just they need goaltending tonight. They need guys who score. To please score in the defense. Just defense. Please. Just go back to the basics, guys.
Saturday, I don't have good feelings about. The Hawks are playing in St. Louis. It is an 8 p.m. Eastern puck drop. I don't think we can bad mojo that game. I don't think we can Uno reverse like we have. No, I think that game is just going to bad mojo itself. It's St. Louis. You're welcome for having a hockey team. Thank you, Wirtz family, for giving St. Louis a hockey team. But I don't have good feelings about that game.
It'd be nice to be during Suckington, but
it would be. But also, like the Blues are a pretty physical team to play against, and we don't really have that guy. So,
you're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
We just don't have we have Max Domi, but he's not Ty Domi. Like he doesn't play like his dad. So,
is there a way we can like make everyone think that that Max just got a little bit older somehow and just like put Ty in there for like a little bit just to like.
We'll give him Matt Murray syndrome and make him age like 47 years in the next day.
I mean, they'll never know.
They'll never know. The Hawks do turn around and have a home game on Sunday. That home game is a 7 p.m. Eastern puck drop. They are facing the LA Kings.
That's a loss. The Kings are too good this year. The Kings are on a mission to prove people wrong, especially with who's that goalie they have now that's absolutely just on fire right now. Give me 1 second, I'll let you know who that is, because this guy has been an absolute problem for them recently.
Yeah.
Yes, it is Phoenix Copley, which, by the way, fantastic hockey name. Phoenix Copley.
It's a great name.
Yeah, right now he is in the 14 games that he's played, he's won 12, 904 save percentage, and a 259 goals against. This dude he's won his last 3 starts against the Knights, Edmonton, and the Sharks. Gave up 1 goal, 3 goals, and 3 goals.
Can we just hope that the Kings play Jonathan Quick for nostalgia's sake?
I hope so, because when this guy's got a 950, a 903, and a 900 save percentage in his last 3 games, that's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to be hopeful that the Kings will be like, let's let good old Jonathan Quick play another game against the Blackhawks, and that's who we'll face, because then I'll feel a little bit more optimistic about that game. But you ride the hot goalie, and that is what is probably going to happen with LA. And no good feelings from this one either.
No, I mean, because the Kings they're in a playoff spot right now in the Pacific. I mean, at this point, I don't see the Kings going anywhere against the grain and trying to be kind of trying to make it cute. Like, no, we're going to go with our guy. He's been on fire outside of the Boston game where he did lose and give up 4 goals against them. I just don't see Copley sitting out of this one, especially if the Kings are off before then.
Yeah.
Like
they're
going to take all the wins they want at this point.
Yeah. And they're going to take, hopefully they don't take the hockey road of the easy. This is going to be an easy win. It's the Blackhawks kind of thing.
A lot of teams
that has come back to kick at least 12 teams in the backside.
I mean, same thing with everyone overlooks Arizona. Arizona gets them. Anaheim, same thing. I mean, yeah, these teams are bad, but they can still bite you if you overlook them. So I mean, it's anything can happen. So
they can. And then to round out the week before our next hockey show, the Hawks are flying into Vancouver, British Columbia, to face the Canucks. It is a 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start, friends. So it's also a Tuesday night. So if you're staying up and watching that whole thing, I pray that you have enough coffee for Wednesday morning, because
that's good. That's going to be a
rough.
late. Yeah, it's going to be a late one unless you're off the next day, which I doubt it. But if you are, then
not.
Well, you said it was a Tuesday night. Then no, I'm not off that. Well,
yeah,
I mean,
I'm not off. That'll be a game that I pick up the highlights on Wednesday morning. I will probably watch the beginning of the game.
Thank you, YouTube.
Well, not only thank you, YouTube, like thank you, NHL app, because every goal scored, they put the highlight up of the actual goal. So that is awesome. But
yeah, I mean, Vancouver has got on a little bit of they're still meh, but they're on the goods. They're on the good side of meh because of the fact that Horvat, Pedersen. I mean, goaltending is still a little suspect for the Canucks because Thatcher Demko is still in the IR. But they do have some decent goaltending now. So it's just, I think are you going to get the Canucks who score a bunch of goals, or is it going to be the Canucks who forget how to hockey? Like, JT Miller likes to show everyone when you hit your stick against the crossbar.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So I think that one might be one where the Blackhawks might maybe take one as well. But I mean,
yeah. After this week of games,
it's the Canucks.
I'm fairly certain that board behind me will say something along the lines of like 12-30-4, or maybe like a 12-28-6. I don't.
Knowing the Hawks, it'll probably be like 14 something and something, just because.
It'll probably be like 14-27-5 next week, and I will be totally off base. But I don't have any good vibes whatsoever from the 4 games they are playing this week. I have no good vibes, none, 0.
We did say, like, after January, it is just an absolutely rough schedule to look at.
We basically faced the other bottom feeders who are in the standings with us. We have faced them all the times we're going to face them at this point, pretty much. The rest of the schedule is basically playoff contenders and people fighting for a wild card spot. So they're going to be. It is going to be a battle against the Blackhawks because they're going to want to take those 2 points. And so I don't see it happening. I don't have any good vibes. And this isn't even like a me trying to like Uno reverse the hockey god mojo. Like
which you can't do because it's the hockey gods.
It's true. The only like meh vibes I have are tonight's game in Philly, because again, this is the season where we have broken some droughts. We have gotten some things taken care of, and I'm hoping maybe this is the game where we finally beat the Flyers at home in the regular season again. That's the only game that I'm like, okay, this might happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's all going to depend. Like I said, with Reichel, is Kaner going to do something? Is Tays going to do something? Are we going to get something from Double A? Are we going to get from Ratty, Laffy Taffy? I mean, it's just,
where is it going to come from? Like, who's going to get it going?
If it's going to come from someone, and like you said, goaltending, it's just, you got to hope the goaltending's there, because if not,
And honestly, like, most of the stuff in the Kraken game, it wasn't even like, if you're a goaltender, tend the goal, stereotypical Peter Mrazek stuff. It was just
the
bad.
Defense. It's just the defense did absolutely nothing to help our goaltending out. Like,
defense and goaltending were very, very optional at the United Center when they played the Kraken. Very, very optional.
And the Kraken have been on a massive run too. I think they set the record for like
Most road game wins in a row at 9, I believe it is.
Yeah, like it was like what 7-1, like 7 on one road trip. They won every single game on a road trip.
They won every game on the road trip. I believe they had 9 games.
That's so stupid. Like they broke it at 7. Now it's sitting at 9. Like,
yeah,
I don't think anyone's touching that. Like,
no,
the Kraken have just been on a stupid run. Like second year in the league. Like the thing is, it's like people can respect what the Kraken are doing because they weren't great last year.
They were awful last year, but we got shut out by them at the United Center because we were awful too.
Yeah, and now this year it's kind of like, okay, they added some pieces. They got guys that they need, like Burakovsky and a bunch of stuff like that. And it's like, oh, look at that, the Kraken know how to play hockey. And it's like, oh, okay. At least it wasn't like the Vegas streaming where they were immediately good. It's kind of like, no, let's go for our first year, figure it out, and go from there. And it's like, crap. Yeah. They kind of figured it out.
So very old school, in my opinion, of expansion teams their fans need to suffer for a season or two. And that's across all leagues. Like, I am a fan of a recently moved to Florida ECHL team, and I was not upset that our team sucked the first couple of seasons, because like that's how you weed out the people who are just trying to do the cool thing and people who just love the sport. Like, I'm all for people coming to games, being new fans. Like, you want to learn XYZ. I love people who sit next to me who want to learn the game.
Right.
And I love, like, if I hear a question and I just like randomly answer it, because that's just what I do sometimes. I love, like,
no, never.
Like, they were sitting next to me a couple weeks ago. It was a guy and his girlfriend, and he had asked some sort of question. He had asked about icing, like, what is icing? And I was like, well, see, of course he had to ask like kind of the most convoluted hockey question, like, because icing is complicated, because the question arose because there was no icing called because the Icemen were on the penalty kill. And they shot the puck down 200 feet to clear the zone, and there was no icing. And he was confused as to why that happened earlier and the whistle blew, but why it didn't happen now. And I just kind of like answered the question. And then he was like, oh, okay, well, I have more questions. I was like, cool. Give me a second to finish watching this. And when the whistle blows, I will be happy to answer any questions that you have. Like, because we were like in the zone, goal scoring opportunity was there. Like, I have to be dialed in and like watching things happen. So I love new hockey fans, but when your team is new, you need to have a little bit of suffer.
Yeah, unlike Vegas fans who their first time ever suffering was last season because they missed the playoffs by a couple points. It's like, it was good to see because they act like, oh, well, you know, la-ti-da, we know hockey. It's like, that's cute. But
that was honestly the greatest thing I ever put in the universe that happened.
that Vegas want to make it.
That the Blackhawks would be the reason the Vegas Golden Knights were eliminated from the playoffs. And
not the Stars. No? The Blackhawks did. Because people want to act like the Stars did it. No,
see, the Hawks game ended before the Stars game did. And we went to a shootout. Yep. And we ended before the Stars game did. Our win in that game is the reason why Vegas was mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. The end. So I do want to take
suck on that, Vegas.
Sucks to suck, Vegas. Never been happier. I do want to talk about our Blackhawks player of the game. We did not talk about this early prior to recording, so I'm just going to throw it out there, and I'm 99.999% sure that Zach is going to agree with me because it's Arvid Soderblom.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I mean, it's Sody. Why not?
It's Sody. It has to be.
Is there any other good 40s for us though? Just for
on the 40 list, we do have Robin Leonard. We have.
See, I love Panda, but that was a half a season, and it's kind of like.
And he didn't want to go, and it makes me sad that he did. We have John Hayden, which that was like 2 seasons, but again, the kind of Kent Simpson. My other like immediate, and this is a very personal reaction, is Patrick Lalime. He is also an alumni of the Hampton Roads Admirals. And then Darren Pang is really the only other significant person to have worn the number 40 for the Blackhawks.
Can't do Darren Pang. You know why? I associate him with the freaking Blues.
Correct.
No, just absolutely no. Darren Peg is such a Blues guy through and through that it's like, no.
It's a big fat no, but it has to be Sody. It has to be. I want him to come off IR soon. I know Courtney is very, very sad. Sody is injured, which is why he was not called up when Stalock went into concussion protocol, because he is also injured.
It was who we didn't mention who was the call up. I know we didn't say who it was, but
we did not, because I'm not. I feel so like kind of sad for him because he's a tiny itty bitty little baby goalie.
All right, I'm gonna try to go look it up real quick because just for purposes of a podcast. Blackhawks app, come through for me, please.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bulls night coming up soon.
Yeah. Well, Benny the Bull is there on Bulls night, and that is the only thing that I love about Bulls night is that Benny the Bull is there because he's amazing.
Benny and the Hawks. Oh, Jackson Stauber.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, he's 6'3", 174.
He's tall and skinny.
He was a 99 kid too.
He's a 99 kid. I believe we drafted him last year.
No, he is an undrafted player. Oh,
that's right. He did sign as a free agent. Because I remember being excited that we signed a goalie. So he was an undrafted free agent when he signed with us last year.
Oh my gosh. I forgot Alex Stalock, 5'11", 170. We're talking about Jackson Stauber being a tall, skinny kid. Alex Stalock is a short, skinny dude.
But it's all the proportions. But I mean, with the Piggies this season, Stauber has a .896 save percentage, and his goals against average is .306.
I mean, the North Division for the Pigs right now is
rough.
I mean, Milwaukee and all those guys. Yeah, that's the Marlies. That's a problem.
Yeah, it has been a rough go about, but I'm happy to see the kid up in the big leagues. I mean, even if you're sitting on the bench,
it gives you a taste of what it's like in the show. But I mean,
it does, and I mean,
I'm curious to see when the Hawks are going to throw him into the net for. I would assume probably somewhere in the back-to-back they're probably going to have to play him because you can't just abuse Mrazek for the next however long it's going to be.
I'm hoping that Stalock is back by the time the Kings come to visit the United Center. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure sweet Jackson Stauber is going to get his first NHL start. And
would you really do it to Stauber on a second night of a back-to-back against the Kings? I'm saying if you're going to do it on
him start against the Blues.
It's a lose-lose situation regardless. Do you do it in St. Louis game 1 or do you get the whole team tired for game 2 against the Kings at home after flying back from St. Louis the night before?
At least St. Louis isn't far. So there's at least that.
I would say if it was me, I'd start him against the Blues just so that way at least the team is somewhat rested.
Yeah,
because if you play on a back-to-back with all those guys tired, it's not really a great situation regardless for Stauber.
Either way, it's not great. So
no, of course the Hawks could go out. Like I said, the Hawks could be like, no, we're just gonna ride Mrazek until Stalock's back. It's like, no. Please don't abuse Peter.
At this point, I don't even know. I don't even know. I have zero good feelings about any of the games this week. I just want everybody to make it out healthy. I want no injuries.
Experience Blackhawks hockey.
It's going to be an interesting week. So,
Just
Zachary, where can the humans find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at OneTrueZach. That's only True Zach. It's not the number one. It's spelled out like the O Neaters. If you want to find me on Instagram, it's at Zach R. Martin 22. And then if you want to check out my articles for Field Pass Hockey, go to fieldpasshockey.com. Check all that out as well. If you go to FPH Checkers, that's where you can kind of find like my link tree, not a link tree, but like the link to find my articles and stuff like that. And you can also find the link on my personal as well if you want to go check out where you can find all my articles where I talk about the Charlotte Checkers. So yeah, Beth, where can people find you on the socials?
So on the Twitter, you can find me at Wonder Beffers. That is like the word wonderful, not the number one. It gets a little confusing sometimes for some people with this guy over here.
Like, I wonder what happened to the Oneaters.
Exactly.
Me make it confusing. Your thing is more confusing than mine. Please.
Yeah. Okay. And you can find me on Instagram at Good Better Beffers. Of course, make sure you are following the podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Talk Will Hockey Pod, and also following our network. And that is going to be on Twitter and Instagram at 5 and a Game SN. And it's the word 5, not the number 5. We are on TikTok. Kat is starting to kill the game over there. That's where it gets a little confusing because it is the number 5 Game SN.
You're swapping it. It's 5 is on the Twitter. It's 5 spelled out.
This is what I get for not just pulling this up. It is the number 5 on Twitter and Instagram. I'm sorry, guys. So the number 5 and a Game SN on TikTok. It is the word 5 Game SN. So we will catch you guys on Monday when we come talk about all things hockey, women's hockey, PHF, it's our WO show.
It's the WO show.
It's the WO show, and we absolutely love it. So we will catch you guys on Monday. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this 5 in a Game Sports Network podcast. Now avoid the sun, and go enjoy your